Hey guys, Toys of Arkham here. This is a review of the 1/6 scale Hot Toys Pennywise figure, and this is a special request by Mr. Glenn Page of Cult Creations. Hello Glenn, if you're watching. I hope you enjoy this review. Now, I don't have the box out and available to show you guys at the moment. It is in storage, so I'm sorry, we're gonna have to do without that. But I'm sure you can see from other channels what the box looks like. It actually is a beautiful box. But anyway, we will focus on the figure himself, and an iconic horror figure and character, no doubt about that. This is a figure that I had pre-ordered, and I actually forgot to follow up on an invoice that I had been sent by KG Hobby. And KG Hobby were excellent in that they honored my pre-order despite the fact that my time in which to pay the invoice had passed. So that was totally my fault, but in fairness to them, they allowed my deposit stand on it, so I didn't have a whole lot to pay off on it, which was great. And it arrived very quickly and without any customs whatsoever, so I got this really at a reasonable price, and I'm so happy I got this figure. It's just absolutely phenomenal. And I know In Art Figures have announced one themselves, a Pennywise figure, and I'll make some comments about that as we go along. But what really drew me to this, apart from Pennywise obviously himself, was the excellent base that this comes with. This is a base that is nothing like we've ever seen Hot Toys do before, although you're starting to see it more in some of their future releases. They seem to be going down the almost diorama route with some of their bases, which is great to see. But I think you'll agree this is a really interesting base that obviously has a huge significance in the movie itself. So the figure is based off It Chapter 2, but he looks the exact same in Chapter 1, which is great. Both movies are excellent, but if I'm to choose one, my favorite is the first one. I really enjoyed it. In fact, I found it quite emotional. Maybe it's because I have 3 boys myself, but little Georgie and his relationship with his brother, and you know, obviously what happens to him, and the disappointment and the letdown that he expresses when it comes to his older brother is just heartbreaking, really. And you know, what this guy does to him as well at the beginning of the movie is pretty disturbing. But nonetheless, if I can get past that, I mean, obviously it's a great movie, a lot of emotion, but it has humor, has suspense, an iconic horror character, and for a remake anyway, I think it's great. But look, you're not here to listen to me rant about the movie. This is obviously a replica of a path and shore with the rainy road beside it, obviously overflowing and draining into the shore drain there, and inside obviously Pennywise is ready to pounce. So the flowing water itself, if we can kind of focus on that, that effect is really good, and under the right lighting you could be tricked into thinking that this is actual water. I mean, it's really phenomenal. I don't know if the camera is picking it up that well. So the water effect is excellent. There's a sort of a red tinge to it in the middle, which, you know, you could suggest is perhaps blood running through that rainwater down into the drain as well. So you can use different displays here as you want, and maybe put the severed arm there to make it look like the blood is flowing from that in, or you know, you can use your imagination, I suppose. So it comes with the SS Georgie, which is excellent, and obviously it's a really nice display to have it there on the water. The texture here. It's kind of a plastic, but the paint application is so good, it makes it look like actual stone or cement and a proper shore. And then it has this grass, which is molded, but to the eye it just looks, sorry, this is not focusing, there you go. To the eye it looks like real grass. It's excellent. So what's amazing about this base is, as well, is that this lid lifts off, and inside of it you can put either that head sculpt or obviously this head sculpt, depending on which way you want to display it. And also you can use some of the hands that it comes with, and you know, as part of your display, maybe have him looking like he's reaching out to get you or something like that, you know. So there's various tricks and display options that you can have here to use for your figure photography. It's really, really cool and dynamic and scary. I suppose I have to take this off, don't I? Because I have to show you this other head sculpt and all the accessories it comes with. So obviously, other than this base and that boat, it comes with a second head sculpt that I'll show you in a second, and lots of other accessories. But before we leave the base, I'll just say that there is a pole that you can insert here, which has a waist grabber, and you can put Pennywise on top of this display if you so wish. If he will stand, probably won't. So that's kind of the look you can have there, which is really nice. I don't have the pole or waist grabber out at the moment because I kind of like it like that without it. Okay, so just bear with me. I'm going to open this. So you can see from the base, there's a little platform here, and it has foam in it, which protects the figure. And that's a nice touch by Hot Toys, thinking about these things. And this sculpt itself is really disgusting looking. The teeth are protruding, very sinister, very evil look to him. And you can see the crevices on his forehead, which have not been painted with any sort of black wash as some artists do. But I like it like this. Under the right lighting, those crevices do pop. The hair sculpted style to it is excellent. I think it's really nicely done. I know the in-art figure that they announced has the real hair, and it looks good in the product photos that we've seen. But I've had experience of those sorts of figures that when they come out of that box, it doesn't quite sit the way it does in those photos, and it takes a lot of manipulation to get it to look right. And to be quite honest with you, I much prefer molded hair for that reason alone. So you can see the teeth there, absolutely horrific. It's a different second head sculpt as well to the in-art figure that has a different look altogether. But I do like this. I do really like it. So good job, Hot Toys. We'll put that back there. So let's quickly look at all the different accessories he comes with. So a jack-in-the-box, freaky, old, kind of weathered look to it, and it is nicely painted, nicely sculpted. Just a very nice display piece. Yeah, so I like that. The severed hand is painted very well. You can see, if you zoom in there a little bit, you can see the kind of lacerations, the wet blood look, the tendons and ligaments, and overall look to this is very realistic and disgusting. It's a really nice accessory because I suppose you could use this in many other displays, dioramas. I mean, that'll come in handy, literally handy. Hello. For other options. I mean, you could imagine maybe Predator or something like that cutting a hand off. So you could use it for other things. Skateboard, he says, won't be there for him either. It's nicely made. It's a nice addition. personally, it doesn't have any significance to me. I don't remember it being of any, I actually don't even remember what part that movie's from, why we have a skateboard with him, but anyway. Here's some nice sculpted hands. It looks like they're transitioning into him becoming a spider or some form of monster. And all the other hands are very nicely sculpted and weathered from the clown outfit. And there's a pointed hand, open hands, and this hand is probably the most interesting in that it holds the balloon, the iconic red balloon from It. Pennywise's balloon. So there you go. It has a stiff wire going through the rope, and it has that illusion of actually floating when it's in his hand because it doesn't fall, which is great. So let's get on to the figure himself. Can't believe we've been doing all this talking and we haven't even spoken about the figure. Now, one thing I had heard from other reviews was that this figure is not weathered. Well, mine is, clearly. There's no doubt about that. It has weathering in it. And it's not about shading or, lighting. It actually is weathered. So I don't know if they, off the original batch and the original reviews, if Hot Toys changed that up slightly for the later releases, but there's definitely weathering on this. Now, it's not incredibly obvious, but it is obvious enough for me to say there is weathering. So that's the first thing I'll say. The collar itself could do it sitting up a little bit more high on his neck. In the movie, he does have it up around his neck more, so the neck is slightly elongated, but it is beautiful nonetheless. So let's start at his feet. The baubles on his shoes, those clown shoes, are weathered. They look incredible. That's actual textured baubles. It's not a mold. All the detail here is amazing, from the frills at the bottom of his trousers with these little frayed little bauble things again at the bottom. There's this kind of braided legging kind of end to his trousers here, and then it billows out into the top of his trousers. And there's the clown outfit at the top, beginning at the top, which has that subtle weathering on it. Again, those baubles are fabric or kind of tassels, and they're just baubles, they're not tassels. But on mine, they're actually separated apart nicely. They're not all gathered together. I think some people have had one or two of them very close together, and it just takes away a little bit from the look of the figure, and they have to adjust, but I don't have to adjust anything here. Again, just the frills again at the end of his sleeves are amazing, just really nicely done. And the great thing about figures like this is that when it comes to fully clothed figures, all their joints are more or less hidden. So the great thing is that when you're posing them, get it into the right pose, you could actually have it look incredibly realistic, because it's obviously joints that give away the fact that it's a toy and not the real thing. So the detail again on this outfit is amazing. All the stitching, everything. You can see that Hot Toys went to incredible effort here to make this horror icon. And it's very rare for them to tackle the horror genre at all. In fact, I can't think of another figure that's from a horror movie that Hot Toys have done. So it's great to see an official licensed product like this getting Hot Toys treatment. The head sculpt, again, similar to the other head sculpt, it is really well painted, has that real sinister look about it. I love that expression, really like it. And they even went so far as to have the eyes slightly apart. They're not dead aligned, just like the character in the movie. And I think it's Bill Skarsgård who's the actor who plays Pennywise, he actually has the ability to do that with his eyes, which is really cool and creepy. And again, the top of his head has that rough texture, which isn't painted in any way black, or it can be brought out with certain lighting and photography, so I like that. And the hair sculpt is really nice on this, really nice. The head itself is like a double jointed neck and head sculpt, so it allows for very I suppose various posing options. And Pennywise is, as a character, quite dramatic in his body movements, and it is cool that we can, you know, manipulate the head this way and that way and make all these really cool gestures and poses, and you know, certain angles make him look really sinister and evil quite easily. Hello, Georgie. Georgie. So yeah, I'm delighted to have this. Really cool figure, and I'd highly recommend it. And if you haven't got one, I would suggest going to KG Hobby and their website and checking them out, because I think they have some available. So the overall impressions of this figure is absolutely excellent. He could do it a little bit of futzing to get him absolutely perfect, but I just thought I'd give you the review of him as is stock before I do anything to him. If I do at all, I don't think I will actually. As I said, the figure body itself is excellent, the articulation is excellent, has the double bend elbows, everything you'd want in a character like this. And it comes with so much cool stuff. It should be a DX figure. It would be great if it had the purse system that you could change the eye position, but sadly that's not to be. But look, it's better than it not being in existence at all, right? It's great to have this. Okay guys, that's the end of my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment and subscribe, and take care. Bye bye.